What's up? I think you know, and welcome back to Cities Skylines, East Yorkshire, and the newly named city of Kingston. What we'll be looking at today is the main interchange of the city. We'll be tearing down the old one, building in a completely new grade-separated junction, and beginning the detailing of it. After that, we'll jump into a quick live play to show off what was built during the last East Yorkshire live stream on February the 13th. Overall, this should be a pretty quick episode, so let's dive right in. Alright, so why the short episode? During the live stream the other day, we talked a bit about the existing interchange, which was always meant to be temporary. And it was just completely choked with traffic, and it was just plain ugly, which I can't have. But building out and lightly detailing one interchange is not exactly enough footage to edit into a bigger episode. So I figured as a little treat, I'd put together a quick episode 5 before moving on to bigger and better things, which we'll talk about later. I based this new intersection on one that hasn't even been built yet in Hull. See, in Hull, the main interchange into the city is named Mitengate, and it's a damn nightmare, honestly. It once snowed an inch there, and it took me an hour to make a 6-minute drive past it. The problem with its design is that there is a heavy amount of truck traffic going east to west through it to try and get to the ferry port, while at the same time interacting with the traffic of the city center, of the train station, and the marina area beneath it. Just as a note here, I'm not building the marina section below here just yet, but we will get to that in the near future. So the plan in Hull is to destroy the existing interchange, sink the motorway, and build an overpass to carry the street over it. Sounds simple enough, except they're digging into sandy soil a few hundred meters from water. Now, of course, the project has been severely delayed and is only just beginning to get underway in real life, but in Cities Skylines, we can get the funding for such a large project pretty easily. And really, I'm building it for the same reasons. Once we start building more industrial areas within Kingston, I am going to need this junction to function smoothly. What you're seeing me do in the background is build out this vision. I actually found an article and a rendering of the soon-to-be real-life interchange in Hull, and I kind of followed that as a guide. Really though, it's just a simple wide overpass with long slip roads and a couple of traffic lights. Nothing is that easy though, as I quickly ran into two problems. One was that I made the slip roads so long. The width of the interchange was more than half the width of the entire city center. This kind of made me stop midway through the rebuild, and you'll see it here at some point, and redo all the slip roads, and then redo all the lane selections in TMPE. The next problem which cropped up though was kind of related to this and covered the overall depth and sloping of the underpass. First off, in reality, it's my mistake, because I should have leveled off this entire area before I built anything. But I wasn't going to delete everything again and level it out, so I ended up having to play around with each and every node multiple times, moving them around and move it, and then raising and lowering them as necessary. In the end though, I feel like the slope looks fairly natural and compact, and I'll try and capture that with some cinematics later on. Finally, I had to fill in the ragged gaps at the edges of the slope surfaces. I would have liked a more elegant solution, but what we ended up with just works. I laid in overpass support networks on either side, and carefully bent and lowered the nodes and segments to make it fit seamlessly. Problem with this is that since there isn't actually any land there, the tree and bush props don't go down properly. I ended up bordering the areas with uniform bushes, and then laid in some thicker vegetation closer to the road. In one area, I ended up even using the tops of trees to fill in a particularly challenging gap. And this is what I love about Cities Skylines. Is this the best or most common way to solve this problem? Probably not. But it does work, and it brings that creativity out in me. finally, for the remaining few minutes of the time lapse here, you'll be seeing some of the light detailing of the roads around the intersection. Mostly putting down some arrows and these delightful little British road number and letter markings. I just found those recently on the workshop, but what I went with here is A63 since that's what it is in Hull in real life. You'll also see some use of the intersection marking tool here, mostly just on a couple of areas. As I mentioned earlier, I still want to build out the marina below here, which will cause me to make further modifications to the interchange. So I don't want to go crazy on the detailing just yet if I'm gonna have to redo some of it later. Now, I might actually be able to plan that road layout of the marina on a live stream coming up. The first one went really well, and if you were there, I appreciate it. If you weren't, what the hell, man? Go follow me on Twitch right now, the link is in the description. And while you're down there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. What I'll be doing going forward is having Twitch streams of East Yorkshire regularly, so stay tuned to my schedule there. But wait, don't worry, anything that I do on stream, you are not going to miss. I will always show off the streams, whatever builds I make in those streams on the live plays of the YouTube videos, which we'll get to right about now. Alright, and here we are back at our lovely little interchange here. As you can see on the finished product, you know, I did end up getting the arrows down and some of the numbers as you saw. But mostly just a light detail on this. I think the foliage, all the trees, all the bushes around the medians here really looks excellent. And I'm excited to add the marina on very soon. Definitely going to get that into a live stream as soon as possible, at least just to get the road network down. You know, I left myself a decent amount of space here, probably more than I should have scaled for, although I could obviously always kind of pull the coastline back a little bit if I needed to, but I'm really hoping to fit a big shopping complex in here somewhere, a marina with some boats sitting on the water. Just definitely want to dig some kind of, you know, water in here, since I haven't really put too many in the city center itself. And then just, you know, houses and apartment buildings, a hotel, whatever. I mean, just a nice little cute marina area. You know, the city's really going to need it, and we'll get there as soon as we can. But what I also wanted to show everybody today, oh, let's get this moving. I always forget. I gotta turn the damn game on and let it show you what it can do. And the traffic flow here is fantastic. The lights are working well, the connections are working well. You know, remains to be seen how it holds up once we have some industry down and have a lot more trucks coming through here. But so far so good. I'm liking what I see. Originally this was going to be a lot wider, as I mentioned in the video. At some point it was basically to here and to here. I mean, literally half the size of the city, just way too much. So I'm comfortable with the size I ended up with. It also let me kind of dig in this road here, which leaves me all this extra space for the entertainment district, a concert hall, whatever we end up putting in there. And I think I mentioned in the live play, but this building here is going to have to go up here at some point. It's definitely going to need to get moved up here to create more total space in this area. But before we go any further, and we end up here really, I wanted to show you what we did at the live play, because if you missed it, it was a shame, but we're here now. So what I've done is I've keyed in from just about underneath the highway here, all the way up to the main final bridge leaving the city center. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I kind of hid the connection under here, but this is where a newly terraformed river meets the network rivers that feed the rest of the city. And it's working well. We got water flow, and I used all of these mud decals to line all the parts of the bank, particularly on the western bank here, next to the city, just to add some detail. And, you know, this is by no means fully detailed yet. I still need to add in all these buildings and whatnot around here and some old industrial areas and really get a lot of props and assets down. But for now, really happy with how this turned out. And on top of that, to try and alleviate some of the industrial concerns in the city, and that bar is definitely the highest right now. On the live stream, we also filled in this edge of the riverbank. So it's kind of a generic, this is actually a Japanese warehouse, but I think it works well here. And then kind of a newer garage with some cars in the back. And then just some dirt and debris, and again, not fully detailed, but again, then the last one I put in here was this Renault garage. Renault is a European car brand if you're not familiar with it. And I kind of started to treat this like a car repair shop, and you know how their lots are always just full of a whole bunch of random cars, mostly Renaults, but a few others as well. Fenced it in, added some foliage, and I think it really is a good start to this part of the industrial area. And definitely want to get some more detailing down here, but kind of got this gate and the fences, and it works for now. And if you want to see some more detailing, please make sure you check out my live streams on Twitch. And I hope to see some of you there. This was great for this episode, and we'll all see you again soon. Bye.